Oh, Brarop, Lutik here, man, stakeholder of this beautiful game. While we celebrate the return of Siwelele FC, we can't ignore the serious questions surrounding how this happened. So we're asking these questions for transparency, not to cause any controversy, but the supporter of these beautiful games deserve some answers. Can Mr. John confirm the full source of funding used for the purchase of Supersport United? And can Mr. John please confirm whether there was any portion of this transaction that were supported by entities that did business with government departments, especially those government departments, the sports department that is linked to his father, Gayton McKenzie? Can Mr. John confirm whether family connections in government influenced or facilitated this transaction in any form, politically, financially, or administratively? Can Mr. John confirm whether he personally engaged with PSL executives or any owners to secure the deal prior to his father, Mackenzie's public advocacy for Celtic's return? And lastly, we want to know, how does this club plan to handle the identity, staff, and players of Supersport United? Tango.
How would you describe yourself?
Okay, I'm Calvin Lejon, born and bred in Bloemfontein in the Free State province. And I've been doing business my entire life through my father. So my father's my teacher, he's my mentor. I love him, I respect him, and I admire him. So that's me in a nutshell. Some would say I'm a daddy's boy, but he taught me everything I know, 100%.
All right. And obviously, for the sake of declaring, we're not going to treat it as Parliament. Daddy is the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture. He is who he is, the own person, Gayton McKenzie.
100%, yes.
So when you say he's taught you a lot, what are the main things that he has taught you?
I think my father's not only taught me.
Yeah.
I think his story is a lesson for each and every person in South Africa, because we live in a country where hope and growth as a human being is, there's not it's not everywhere, so he's one of those people that show you that you can literally come from nothing, and he came from below zero and made it to where he is. He's a very family orientated man. If you ask my little brothers, he's a strict father. He requires a lot from us, but in the end, and I'm a true testimony of that, he truly wants the best for us. 100%.
The survival, because I think a lot of what attributes go to him is that of survival.
Yes.
I mean, he talks very fondly and proudly. Obviously he's a politician and everything is out there. They go very deep and very personal at times, from calling him Pantiti to calling him all sorts of names. Obviously, as kids who don't understand how the bigger world works, I mean, how do a lot of those jibes and vibes sit with you? Or is that an inspiration to see how he responds then to that negativity?
No, I think for me, it doesn't faze me, it doesn't touch me, because I grew up in an environment where my father was actually a prisoner.
Yeah.
When I think back, I was living at my great grandmother's house, and all my cousins, their fathers would come and fetch them, And for me, it didn't click. Like, hey, actually, where's my father? You know, I was too young to understand that he is in prison. And so for me, it's I grew up with it. People have always said a lot of things about him, but I guess it's life.
A lot of people are confused. Calvin Lejon,
Yes.
you're not supposed to be McKenzie. Clear that up, so that we don't find this question coming up later on.
Okay. I need to clear it up because I've been asked the questions myself. So,
Yeah.
on the day I was born, my father was sentenced to 17 years in prison. My mother then decided that she's not going to give her child the surname McKenzie. She didn't want her child to grow up with the surname of a prisoner. So she gave me her surname, which is Lejon. And yes, that's basically it. And I never changed it back. Growing up, I actually felt like I'm so blessed that I've got my mother's surname because I did not have to live under my father's shadow directly. Like I would be in rooms where people are discussing my father, and I'd sit there and actually watch them, and listen. And sometimes I'd be like, "Oh, that guy's right,"
Yeah.
But I don't live with the title of the son of Gayton McKenzie. I've never lived like that. I've always tried to keep under the radar. And to Twitter, I'd like to say, not because I'm running away from anything. I just wanted my peace and live in the shadows. That's my entire life. I don't have any social media. The only social media I could say I have is WhatsApp. And that's purely from a point of just
Easy communication.
100%. But moving away from, I don't want to be in the spotlight. And now it looks like I'm in the.
You can't. You're in it because now
100%.
when you come onto the show and you say,
sir.
and you talk again, you say, you've been a businessman for many, many years.
Yes.
So part of the scrutiny in football is a businessman, and what were you specializing in as Calvin Lejon? What was your main source of income? But in this case, I would say, what is your main source of wealth?
Okay. Okay, so in my personal capacity, I'm not a millionaire.
Not even 1 million in your account.
No, I'm not here for financial things.
Okay, no, I'm just basing it on what
yes,
you say.
To answer your question,
Yeah.
I got my inheritance early, I'd like to believe, because my father when he was appointed as a minister, he was no longer allowed to do business. So all the family businesses were then moved to my name. We are in the transport industry, we're in mining, we're in hotels. I've also taken over his publishing company. So we have our hands in a lot of pies. But the majority of the money comes from mining.
Just as a reminder, you want to remind us again of what that amount was?
50 million.
Was it a negotiation? Was it an offer that was put on the table when you found out that SuperSport United was maybe up for sale?
Sir, it was an auction. So we put our bid in and luckily we won. But the journey didn't start there for us.
Okay.
8-9 months ago, we were part of the Royal AM auction.
Yes.
So there were 2 auctions that took place for Royal AM. We lost both. And then luckily we were invited to the SuperSport United auction and luckily we won that bid.
As a layman, Calvin, where do you get 50 million rand? How do you answer that?
Okay, so I don't have 50 million just lying around. I sold our properties in the coast. I sold some properties in Sandton to fund the project, being being SuperSport United, the purchase price. And then to fund the liquidity of the team, I sold some shares to a consortium of one of our diamond mines in the Northwest for the sum of 90 million rand. And that's how everything has been happening. I saw a rumor that I got a tender of 70 million somewhere on Twitter, and that's a blatant lie. I know nothing about that.
But you shouldn't be on Twitter because you don't exist on Twitter. What is Calvin Lejon doing now on Twitter when he's not there? So that's why, keep away from those things.
Yes.
So while you talk about Twitter, they also make the claim that there was an amount of money that came from Makeni Kunene, for example. Yes. You've seen that. You've heard that.
Yes.
How do you respond to that?
I don't have any friends, associates, or family members that are doing any work in the city or the Department of Sports for that matter. I don't do tenders. I tried, and for me, seeing people arrested every 3 days is scary. So, but I don't do. I'm in different businesses, but I don't work with the state. So that's me in a nutshell. You know, when that 70 million tweet came out, my mom called me and she was hysterical. Like, did you receive this money? Did you receive this money? I was like, no, Mom, I didn't. We spoke for an hour over the phone, and every time I thought I've reassured her she's fine, she's like, are you sure? So
what was she worried about?
No, she was just worried that it's corrupt money. So she was worried that her son might be arrested for.
So she was fearing a scandal, basically.
Yes, she was fearing a scandal. You know, her mother's always worried about her son. But yes, for me, I've never, I think if anyone has any information of me receiving that 70 million from the city, let them bring it out. I've got nothing to hide.
Yeah. So is it a 50 million cash payment, boom, or how does it work?
Okay, so I thought it's a 50 million cash payment, boom.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work like that. Like Super Sports International actually wants you to prove where you got the money. They do their due diligence thoroughly. So I had to prove where I got the money, and I had to prove that everything was above board. So for me, and it was important that they do so. Like even me now, if anyone wants proof of how I acquired certain things, I've got the evidence in my back pocket. That's, you know, it's not a secret that we live in a country where corruption is a big factor. So especially with a person like me that is politically connected to the minister, I always have to prove that I'm above board.
Can you promise the people who are looking at you as a savior now to say you're not going to hit a brick wall anytime soon?
Okay, in terms of, as much as this is a passion project for my family and I, we're going to run this club in a sustainable way. It needs to wash its own hands. I'm sure we'll put in a million there to fund the club, but the club does have sponsors. The club is healthy. It is Super Sports United, after all.
Yes.
One of the best administratively run teams in the entire.
You would hope so. Former Super Sports United. So we closed their door, but you got a CEO who's still a CEO who was with Super Sport.
100%. Yes, that was one of the main factors. Like in the deal, we asked that, please, can you Stan Matthews come along, because he's incredible. Like without him, I don't think I would have been able to navigate the storms that I've been fighting in my short journey in football.
Tell me about the sponsors. Who are the sponsors?
I can't at the moment. We're still signing, yes.
Season starting in a couple of days.
100%, but we've been in existence for less than a month.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Obviously, that was the calculated gamble that you knew was always going to exist. So, firstly, PSL have approved. They've signed. You guys are legal. You're going to be part of the PSL next season. All right. So, potential sponsor, you're going to be announcing when?
I think maybe before the first game, we will announce the potential sponsors.
First game is creeping up. It's on the 9th of August. You play against Arrows.
100%.
It's just around the corner.
Yes.
So you've got a small window as the 1st of August creeps up tomorrow.
No, we didn't start talking to the sponsors last week.
But in terms of announcing it, obviously it's got to be on the jersey. You've got to go to get it printed and all of those technicalities.
Yes, I think those are questions for the CEO, Stan Matthews. He's got it under control, so give him a call, Uncle Rob. He can be here tomorrow.
Hey.
Life of an artist, pure bad shot, baby spices, at glorifying drugs as a stage fright cure. You can try this just when you're about to grab your chance of staging. Excitement, you can't think out this industry, or should I say this killer dream, cause you will swear that from the start it was designed to kill artists. Bangakulwela when days are bright, ungutembekile. As a human being on Instagram, too much pressure, unrealistic expectations. Whoever said that is the perfect is with us, wethembekile. Singiza wethembekile. Remedies within us as ikhwemba sipepekile.